Hello guys, welcome to another video. So today we're going to look at something slightly different, but it's something very interesting. If you don't trade this, I would recommend that you start checking it out. So we're gonna start, do the normal top-down approach and see if we can get any trading opportunities for the coming week. Let's go. All right, so as usual, we're just gonna start with the highest time frame, work our way down until we get to the time frame where we'll be executing trades. So this is how the monthly chart looks like currently, and if you try and analyze it, you'll find that the trend line has been taken out, meaning the price, I think during the time when the Ukraine and Russia, the war, I think that's when it formed that. And now things are starting to come back to the prices like before the not the COVID, before the war. So now you can see the prices retraced nicely, but it hasn't removed the area of support. That's very, very important. The area of support hasn't been taken out, but the trend line has definitely been removed, right? So what we can take from this is that the price is inside the support on monthly, which means there's a possibility of it going for a pullback. For as long as the support is not removed, then there's always a possibility of the price respecting that and pushing back to the upside. That's point number one. But again, if you look at what the price did when it got to this support, right? It's not the first time, or it's not this month that it is touching the support, because it touched it all this month. It's been on this support. So meaning we touch the support. The bulls, if they meant, if they were serious, they were supposed to do what? Touch, activate, and then push the price up. You can see that the price at this support, it formed bullish pin bars, which means they were trying to push up, but the sellers didn't want to give up because they formed the pin bars, but they are failing to break the range to the other side and get a proper pullback. Now the bears or the sellers sell this, I think it's this month, the current candlestick, as you can see, it's a very strong bearish candlestick to the downside. The bulls here, they've been trying to push up. The sellers have been saying that no, we are not done. So which means there's always a possibility of this zone being removed, because you can see that the bulls here are not that strong. It's their zone, it's their home. We expect them to try and kick in and take power, but they are not doing that. The sellers are still forming those strong ERCs or the strong candlesticks to the downside, right? So when you're seeing something like that happening, that's a sign to say that this is a zone where the bulls are supposed to be the one forming a strong candlestick to the upside, not the other way around. So that's why I'm saying there's always a possibility that this support can be removed. But for as long as it is not yet removed, there's still that hope to say that a pullback is still very much possible. So that's what we are getting here on the monthly. Now we move to the weekly. Weekly is definitely going to the downside, because we can see that the same thing that we saw, that side of the trend line being taken out and this area of support also being removed. So this time frame is definitely going to the downside. And when we want to talk about the structures that we are inside, remember on the monthly we had said that we are inside the support, and it's the same thing here. We are inside a very nice support here. We are inside this weekly support, which is inside what? The monthly one, this support here. So which means there's also a possibility of it reacting there, right? We can see that the bulls, when they are trying to push up, they are not as smooth as what the sellers are doing. Rather, they do this, and then the sellers defeat them again. So you can see that they are not that strong. They are not that strong, especially during this movement. They're supposed to touch their zone and push up like that. But if they are dragging their feet, the sellers can end up defeating them. So this coming week is going to be very crucial, because should this be taken out, this is going to open a very huge space to the downside. But for as long as the price does not pass this point, there's always a possibility of it going up to at least until there, or the trend line, because we are saying that this time frame here is bearish, and you can put a bearish trend line there, and you can say that you've got the area of resistance there. So you know very well that you're inside a support on weekly, you are inside a support on monthly, and we said there's always a possibility of the price pulling back. Weekly still is very much bearish, but the what do you call this? So us being inside this strong area of support, there's always a possibility of it going for a pullback or a complete trend reversal. We don't know about that. So what I can tell you is that inside this support, now that the price is inside this coming week, if you get confirmation there, we're saying confirmation because these sellers are very aggressive. We saw that even on monthly they are forming that strong bearish candlestick, and even here the trend is bearish when we're trying to go up. That's why you need to get confirmation for that, because this can be taken out. So you're just gonna wait for confirmation. Maybe you'll get a pin bar there, use it, and if you get in that confirmation, you'll be targeting this trend line or that resistance, because these are the two structures that are going to fight against your trade. So that's why you need to make sure that if you get confirmation inside here, you are more than welcome to try and push the price up there. And let's check what we have on daily. So this is what we got on daily. We can see that this price stayed here for a very couple of weeks. It stayed there, right? And now all of a sudden it broke that. We're expecting, because we touched that monthly area of support. The bulls were supposed to mean business and push all the way up, but now they allow the sellers to keep on bouncing like that, and then now it seems like they're defeating them, but their main zone is still not removed. And we can see here that we formed this, which is what you call a bullish rejection candlestick, and the price tried to go above, but it came back again. So that's why I'm saying, at least already we can see that even if the bears are pushing strongly to the downside like that, now they've reached another zone that's not going to be easy for them to break. That's why we ended up with the bullish pin bar. So these are the structures that you can use to get those trades to go up. And if you're going to use the trend here on what's this here on daily, you're going to use what? You're going to exit there. So this is where you're going to place your take profit. At that resistance, you get confirmation here. At that resistance or the trend line, that's where you're going to exit. So for now, we are leaning towards going to the upside. We are trying to catch a pullback, right? But if you don't get the confirmation, we're not going to enter. It means the price, if it removes this zone, then that's when you start to just selling, because there's nothing that's going to be pushing against you here. Because you remember right now, currently we are inside what? We are inside the support on monthly, on weekly, and here on daily as well. So which is why we're saying that there's a lot of pressure to try and push the price up. We understand that the trends are sort of moving to the downside, but we know that the price does not move like this. Even if it's going to the downside, is bearish, it will still have pullbacks in between. So this is something that we are anticipating, a pullback. So we're saying that there's a very high chance that the price will go up until there. But without confirmation, we're not going to pull the trigger. So because of that, we are trying to catch this. Now, let's check what we have on H4. Because remember, it's very important for you to follow this price from all these candles, all these time frames, and all the way to the smaller ones that will help you get the trade. Now we are on the H4, and we know very well that the location that we are inside, it's a zone that is saying that there's a very high possibility that the price will move to the upside. So what you can do here is to say that this time frame also is still very much bearish. We can put a bearish trend line here and say this is our bearish trend line. Let's just mark it using a proper trend line so that you can see what I'm talking about. So it all depends on which time frame you're going to use to pull the trigger should the opportunity arise. But if you don't get the confirmation, remember, you won't be taking any trades. We know where we are located, right? We're just looking for any reason for us to take a trade. If you are someone that's trading on H4, it means your resistance is there, because remember, the ones that are trading on daily, their resistance is slightly higher. So if you're trading on H4, your resistance is there, and your trend line is this one here. So because you can see here, we have got what we call a bullish pin bar. So if you are seeing the bullish pin bar, I said we need to break the range. So which means you can just wait for the range to be taken out. So this is something that you're looking at to say that when I'm getting a pin bar, it's a sign that the bulls are trying to reject the price, which means that gives me hope. I can try and get a buy trade. And then the range is removed. You'll be going up to at least there. This can be taken out, and then the price will mean that now it will be going for what? The daily zone, which is this one here. So you can use the H4 once as your TP1, and then when it gets there, move your stop losses to break even and hope that the remaining trade will go up to at least the main zone there. So that's what we're getting on H4 to say a pin bar. We'll take it. We're targeting this. The next one will be at the daily zone. Now let's see what we have on H1. There's nothing here on H1. So yeah, we don't have anything. So maybe M15, because remember the aim is just to get a buy trade. All right. So here, this is what we have on M15. Remember, the more you move lower in your time frames, the higher the time frames, the more the price has got a chance of reacting from those ones. So here's your M15 trend line. You're bearish. It has been removed, and also the M15 resistance has been taken out, which means this one is definitely going to the upside, and this is the support that is responsible for going up and breaking the trend line and taking out the resistance. So this is the support where you're going to take what? Your buy trades from here. So this is where you're going to wait. If you're trading M15, you're going to get your buy trades there and hope that the price will push up like that. So remember, on all these time frames, we are anticipating a pullback. So when you get to the time frame or your support on your time frame, or you're getting a confirmation on your whatever time frame that you're trading, you are going to target the next opposing structure on that time frame. So this coming week, this has a chance of going up to at least the next opposing structures on each and every time frame that you're trading from. So, but remember, keep in mind that because there's a lot of selling pressure, there's a lot of selling. I mean, look at this, and the same thing on monthly. Look at this. So these bears can still continue like that, which is why we need to be careful with those buy trades that we are searching for. For as long as the price does not take this and it gives us confirmation, we will take that confirmation and take that trade to the upside. So that's what you can expect from crude oil this coming week. And if you haven't subscribed, please do so. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you.